Let me tell you, I watched that speech twice. I'll talk about this when I get on the air in 1 minute. We'll be live on the radio. That was President Trump's most historic speech that he will ever give. Unless his second inaugural speech tops it. But that, I mean, I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't go to sleep and watched it again. I couldn't, and I am just so happy. That speech and announcement was better than anything I imagined. And I want you guys to call me on the air and tell me your thoughts on the speech, because I'll give my analysis here in the first segment, getting ready to come on now. But give me a call and let me know what you think. I mean, it was just beautiful. And I'm so glad that he waited and did it when he did and how he did it.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, man. I am so excited again. That Trump speech was fantastic. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. This is where MAGA comes to talk. This is the radio station of Mar-a-Lago and the most pro-Donald Trump radio program you will hear on the planet Earth. All right, I promise you that. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, man. That Trump announcement last night was better and more exciting and more beautiful than anything I could have imagined. Really, it was. And it was so good. I watched it twice last night. I didn't get a lot of sleep because I watched it twice. It was that good. And I don't know about you guys. I'm not embarrassed to admit this. I was tearing up. Were you guys tearing up? It's obviously a different tone than we've seen before out of Donald Trump. And it's a more serious tone because things are more serious right now, aren't they? And you know what I love that he called this little period of Biden wrecking America and the world? He calls it the pause. Isn't that something? He calls it the pause. I love that, the pause. He will not be the first president with 2 non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland had 2 non-consecutive terms as well. But, I'll just to sum up, and I want to hear all of your thoughts on that speech last night. I really do. I want to hear your response, your feelings, your emotional reaction, your analysis are all welcome on the program with the Trump speech last night, an announcement. I'm starting to get a little teary-eyed now just thinking about it. But you know what it felt like to me? And I'll throw this out to you to tell me if you agree or disagree with this. To me, it was like Ronald Reagan was coming out of retirement, kind of thing. That things are so bad that I got to come out of retirement and do this. Didn't you guys feel that way a little bit about it? I am the only one who can come back and do this. And I will tell you this. I was watching Fox News Channel for about 40 minutes this morning because I wanted to see what they said. And you know what they said? They didn't even mention the name Donald Trump in the 40 minutes I was watching. Turn off Fox News. Okay? Watch Newsmax, download the app, and Real America's Voice as well. Download the Real America Voice app. I have Real America's Voice on my television. I've got the app. I got the Newsmax app. Got it on my devices, my phone, my iPhone, my iPad. Go there for your news and information. Rupert Murdoch announced this week they will not cover Trump and they're going to support the Democrat. So I know there were some people on Fox News that we like, and I'm not going to blame them, right? They make millions of dollars. They're doing their best, But Fox News, I'm done with Fox News. Newsmax, Real America's Voice. I know there's other places, including this program, but turn off Fox News. And I'll tell you why, and it needs to happen. And I know a lot of you have not, because they're still number 1 in cable. Newsmax is number 4 in cable news. Let's make them number 3. Let's get them to at least beat MSNBC. Stop watching Fox. Get your friends to stop watching Fox. It's important because we need to send a message to Fox that we're not going to support them because they've decided they're part of the establishment. But no, my main takeaway from that speech was President Trump announcing that only he can do this, which is true, and coming out of retirement. And I think you guys out there will agree, was it not a different tone? I'm so glad that President Trump did this announcement in the way that he did it last night and didn't do it at a rally. I know he was itching to do it. He was itching to do it, especially at the Ohio rally. You could tell he wanted to do it. The last few rallies prior to the midterms, he wanted to do it. You could tell, but he didn't do it. And it was a very wise decision on President Trump's part, because that event last night was perfect. And the entire national and international media were there covering it. Now, yeah, we're going to have primary challengers. Put them on your list. Candace Owens, I tweeted this last night after the speech when I was watching it for the second time. Candace Owens picked a bad time to throw Trump under the bus, didn't she? Candace Owens. Oh boy, did she not screw up? And you know, now Candace Owens and Winsome Sears and all of these other snakes that showed their true colors and trashed Trump about a week ago, well, some more recent, but within the last week or so, we know who they are now. And now what are they going to do? They're going to dig in. That's fine. Dig in. You know, I thought it was really interesting, too, what President Trump said about the midterms. He didn't whine. Did I tell you he was not going to whine? I was telling the whiners this week. There's no crying in baseball, right? These people I've been dealing with on the phones this week. Well, I thought what President Trump said in his incredible announcement last night was really interesting when he was talking about the midterms. He said, the American people have not realized how bad it is yet. They don't know. It hasn't sunk in. It hasn't gotten bad enough for them yet. But by the time we have our next election, they'll know. And I thought that was so cool and beautiful and great analysis. He didn't attack the voters. Remember, we were talking about that yesterday. You never hear Trump attack the voters. He didn't attack the voters. He just said it hasn't hit them yet, how bad things are becoming. And, you know, whoever these snakes are that run in the primaries against Donald Trump, what they're not going to be able to do is what Donald Trump can do, and we heard some of it last night, is go through his incredible list of accomplishments in his first term. And now we have the pause. I love that term, the pause. Isn't that, don't you guys like that? He went through this list of things that he did, things he accomplished, and how Biden wrecked them during this pause period. And it was just perfect. Now our number, we have one opening on the board, is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us from, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to hear your thoughts, your reactions, your analysis, your emotions about President Trump last night. All right? Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Solo from West Florida. I watched Trump last night. I tell you, man, it blew me away. I was like you. I was choked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I watched him probably twice last night. I watched him already again this morning.
Yeah, 3 times you've seen it already. Wow.
Yeah, and I got Trump everything. I got Trump flags in my yard. I got a life-size cardboard punch-out of him standing in my house. I'm a big Trump fan. I love Trump. I voted for him. I'm going to vote for him again.
It's awesome.
And, I mean, there's just no more patriotic person than Trump, and Trump is the only one that's going to get us back on track. I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, President Trump is a lot of things, but he's a leading economist, right? I mean, he took a $1 million loan from his dad, which he paid back. Nobody pays back their parents but Donald Trump. And he turned it into billions and billions of dollars, and he's an economist. Not one of these college professor economists that are around Biden that have never had a real job.
That's right. I agree with you 100%, Brian. But yeah, I just want to call in and give my thoughts to you and let you know I watched it. I called you, I think yesterday or the day before. But yeah, it was heart wrenching. And he told me what I liked about it was he was like I'd never seen Trump before. He was more like determined, and like you said, he was a different Trump last night. I seen something different in him last night. It's like he's out to go, but we know they're going to be out there trying to throw stuff at him, and we're going to get through it and back him and be there for him and do what we can to come back in America.
That's right. Where are you calling from, by the way?
Hudson, Florida.
Hudson, Florida. All right. Yeah, you sound like an old Florida boy.
Yeah. I'm a Florida person.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for all you're doing too, Brian. It means a lot, to get on here and watch a Florida guy on here on the TV and a big Trump supporter like you.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call. We'll break and be back.
On here and watch a Florida guy on here on the TV and.
Yeah, I can tell by that accent. That's an old Florida, good old boy.
But thanks for the call.
Oh man, one opening on the board. Let me ask you guys. Yes or no? Were you emotional watching that speech last night? Did you get emotional? Tear up, choked up? Did you feel something? You get the goosebumps? Did you? Yes or no? Did you have some emotional reaction to that? Because I mean, I can feel like on the back of my neck and my ears right now, my arms, just talking about it. Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't really get any sleep last night. I got to sleep, I don't know, 11:30, and I got up at 2:30 to check out the analysis. And I could have slept in because there really wasn't any analysis. They're totally acting like it didn't happen. Well, that's why we've got to turn off all the cable news, Newsmax. If you got OAN, okay, but Real America's Voice, Newsmax, and if you've got Newsmax on your cable system, turn them on. I mean, if we could get, and I'm serious about this, Newsmax is number 4 in cable news. If we could get Newsmax to become number 3, you don't think that'd scare the dickens out of the rest of the cable news? And it would be directly because of their coverage of President Trump. That would be amazing. Chazzy, $10 super chat. What does it matter? It does matter. It's because of what Trump said last night. He said people just aren't feeling how bad it is yet around this country. And that's true. That's true. Yeah, thanks, Chaz. And please thank Chaz for that super chat. It matters a lot. Did you hear Trump whining? I told you guys he wouldn't be whining. Oh, man. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm so excited. That was just a perfect speech. It was just his, I think it was his best. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Welcome back, everyone. We have a full board of calls. And, boy, there were a lot of people there. a lot of people there that were familiar faces, including the great Mike Lindell, a great supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Oh, man. And it's Christmas shopping season. Go to MyPillow.com. Support this program and Mike Lindell and all the great things he does at the same time. And I want to tell you about the MyPillow towel set. Oh, man. You know, the MyPillow towels are on my mind because, well, you know, about an hour and a half ago, I got in the shower and got out and dried off with my MyPillow towels. You know, these MyPillow towels make great Christmas gifts. It's a 6-piece MyPillow towel set with our promo code Kane, just $39.98. And you know, these are regularly $89.96, the MyPillow towels. So, wow, that's amazing. So they're $50 off. I have 2 sets of these, and they do exactly what Mike Lindell says in his commercials. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I've told you guys so many times, it's incredible. All the towels were dirty. I get out of the shower, all I had was the washcloth. The little washcloth from the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, because all the towels were dirty. So I said, oh, well, I'm going to dry off with that. That's all I got, the washcloth. And you know what? The washcloth is all that I need. Not only did the washcloth alone, because it perfectly absorbs the water, dried off my body and hair out of the shower. It's crazy. That's how good these towels are. So go to MyPillow.com and order your 6-piece MyPillow towel set. $50 off, just $39.98. And again, get them for yourself, but they also make great Christmas gifts. You can order by phone as well. Toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Megan from Texas.
Hey, Megan, what's up?
Oh, wow. Last night I cheered. I literally cried for real, and I felt hope again. I haven't felt this hope since Potato took the office. And I just can't tell you. I'm tearing up now just telling you. So,
you know, I was saying when I saw the speech, you know, and he went through everything that's going on and how bad does it not seem to you that he's almost like, okay, I'm the star quarterback, I'm coming out of retirement because I'm the only one that can do this. That's how I felt.
yes, absolutely. And I love that he went over everything that he did for us, promises made, promises kept, and I also loved when he said about the pause. So,
Well, I don't know, you know, President Trump is a marketer at heart. And, he very well may have come up with that himself, the pause. What a great way, that basically, you know, pausing everything. I love that, the pause. That was my favorite from the whole speech. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I just think that's so cool.
yes, and giving us hope again for the future.
Oh, and it looks like, by the way, I appreciate the call. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, it looks like Ukraine is responsible for the rocket hitting Poland, killing people. I read a report today. Now, this is all new and breaking and developing, and who knows how they're going to twist and propagandize it in the media. But it looks like Ukraine hit the rocket and knocked it into Poland, is what's being reported this morning. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
And I have to tell you that speech that Trump made last night was unbelievable. He's like the best president that we'll ever have again. He's the only one that did what he promised us, and it really made you feel proud to be an American again.
Yeah, I know. It was beautiful. And did you know there seems to be a different tone with President Trump?
He was much more relaxed and calm. He didn't attack anybody. He was very serious last night.
Well, because things are serious. We're facing a great, let me tell you, I mentioned this thing about the rockets, okay? It looks like Ukraine hit the Russian rocket, knocked it into Poland. This is what's going to happen now. They're going to start the Third World War. And I'll tell you why. In the history of the United States, no sitting president has lost re-election in time of war. So they're going to think that's their hope. If they get if they bring us the Third World War that Europe has brought us, okay, get that going. They think that because of no president has lost re-election in time of war, that'll get Biden re-elected and defeat Trump. I'm serious. I see it now with the coverage of this rocket hitting Poland.
I don't even think Biden. He's such a jerk. He's such a jerk off this guy.
Okay, you can't. We're on the radio. You're on the radio. Oh my goodness, there are things you can't say beyond the 7 words. Nice lady, I understand. And they've got this. Biden's on the job, right? Did you see this photograph they released of him? It looks like in a hotel room. It's got the Secretary of State there, and they have Biden in his phone. Oh, he's so hip, it looks like he's texting. Really? Please. Please. He's probably on Pornhub, checking out hunters. I'm serious about this, though. Look for the conflict with Ukraine and Russia to increase. They're having a big NATO meeting. They're going to how they're going to respond and all this stuff. Let me tell you, we've had 2 world wars brought to us by Europe. We don't need a third one. And I will tell you this, and a lot of you may not like what I'm going to say. If you have a child who is in high school, junior, senior year, and they're considering going into the service, please discourage them. And if they still want to go into the service, try to steer them into the Coast Guard. It's a little better. Try to steer them into the Coast Guard, please. And if I had a child that was in the service, I would want them out as soon as their enlistment was up, okay? Because we are about to be pushed into a war against Russia over a place that before a couple months ago, most people couldn't even find on a map, just so the Democrats have a hope of defeating Trump in 2024. And I certainly wouldn't want my child serving in the military going off to a meaningless war that could be avoided just because these Trump derangement syndrome sufferers think that's their best hope to defeat him. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, my name is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, a couple hours sleep, but I'm doing great, and President Trump's back.
Yeah, me too. I watch it. It almost made me, tear up a little because, all the things he was talking about and the way he did it so smooth, like he was very calm and collect, but he was on message. He was talking about all his company, all his policy, and he didn't just say, well, my Trump administration or Pence administration, because I see something that Mike Pence did, and it disgusted me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He really did an awesome job last night, and if anybody thought that they was going to defeat him or try to defeat him, bring it on. You wouldn't successful.
When you listen to that speech last night, what could anyone be against that Trump said?
Yeah, they can't. And they was trying to find ways, because I searched other networks. They was trying to find ways to criticize him, and there wasn't nothing there. Nothing there. Because he said, tonight is not the night to criticize anybody. It's all about what I want the American people to understand, what I have done, what we can do together, and how we can bring this country back.
Yeah.
Greater than it is now. That's what he said.
Yeah, and it was really humble. And he said this. One thing he said, "This is our campaign," and he said it's not going to be easy. But I just got goosebumps again. Just quoting Trump, I got goosebumps again. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, it is, because he let him know it's going to be a hard fight. He said this going to be he said this going to be like you chewing your nails off. He said, but I have to do it. I have to do it regardless of how I feel about it. My family know what we're going to go through.
That's right. Well, listen, Maria, I gotta run for our bottom of the hour break, but thanks for the call. Oh man, call is on hold. Stand by. Back after this.
Family know what we're going to go through.
Oh man, I'm so glad. It seems we haven't heard one negative thing about the speech last night. Now, I'm going to tell you, let me know where you watched the speech. Where'd you watch it? I watched on Newsmax. Where'd you guys watch the speech? I'm curious because we gotta direct people away from Fox. I was watching the pre-coverage on Real America's Voice. Right side, Newsmax. Yeah, RSBN. Yeah. Yeah. Real America's Voice is amazing. I mean, I really enjoy Real America's Voice. Yeah, they had very good coverage. Fox News. But it's like I said, Fox News, I didn't watch it on Fox News, but what I heard is they cut away from it. What's up? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm coming back too quick, cutting them off. Oh, man. Oh, Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Let me ask you, and you guys could NTD. I was interviewed by NTD on Inauguration Day in front of Mar-a-Lago. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool interview. Tell me, Ed Henry. Yeah, Ed Henry. Did you hear any negative analysis last night after the speech? Because I didn't see really much analysis at all as I was going through it. You know, they are really done with Trump at Fox. I mean, they really are. NTD's awesome. You know, and if any time I go to the NTD is owned by Chinese exiles in the United States, and the first group of them were Tiananmen Square survivors. I was so disgusted. I went to Fox News this morning. 40 minutes, I didn't hear them mention Trump or the announcement. It's like they have a total blackout on it. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the NTD people, they're nice people too. I've met them so many times at events, and they are really nice people. Right Side too. Everyone at Right Side I've met is nice. I've met almost everyone from Right Side. I've not met Liz Willis. I keep missing Liz Willis. You know, anytime I meet up with someone I know from Right Side at an event, Liz is always off somewhere else. I've just not had the chance to meet her yet. No, that's a Starbucks cup. You know, today, listen to this. I went to Starbucks this morning, and when I got my coffee, the girl at Starbucks, she said, "You sound like a guy on the radio." I said, "Really?" I said, "Who?" She said, "This guy named Brian." I said, "Oh, cool." So I said, "Can you believe?" You know, because I ordered in the drive-thru. I guess she kind of heard me like that. And I said, "What radio station?" I got to check him out. And she told me. She said 95.3 FM. I know, it's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. I've had people say that to me before, and then I'll tell them, "Well, it's me." But I didn't do it this morning. I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of cool. I felt kind of stupid saying, "Well, that's me." You know? I know, poor Mike Nificent. I talked to Mike, and he said he's got something planned. He did not tell me what it was. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was hilarious. Maybe Liz is avoiding me. No. I'll give you an example. Like I was at it was at the boat parade was the last time, and I went to where right side was, and she was on a boat, but I was on shore, you know. I don't like to go out on other people's boats because then I'm like stuck. You know what I mean? Famous Brian, yeah. I have people come up to me all the time. A lot of times at the grocery store. I have people come up to me at the grocery store all the time. It's crazy. I take selfies and stuff. That's like the most common, you know. But people, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years here in South Florida. So, you know, a lot of people here. Once I was on I-95. And somebody came up to me on I-95, not far from here, and they were taking pictures of me driving on I-95. It was so bizarre. No, it's a Starbucks cup.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, there's only one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We're talking about this beautiful, incredible announcement that President Trump made. And I know yesterday there was so much speculation. We were doing it. What was the announcement going to be? And, you know, Corey Lewandowski's book about Trump was called Let Trump Be Trump. And that's how you got to kind of be. Let Trump be Trump. Because the way he did the entire thing last night was just perfect and better than any of us predicted or thought it would be. Wasn't it? And the speech, the tone. And I'll tell you, excuse me, that's not me being choked up. That's me choking on my coffee. Little saliva in my mouth from the coffee. A little choked up there from that. But, oh boy, that's fun. But I think in this campaign, because things are so serious, he seemed more statesman than ever. And I don't think we're going to see the fights between him and the media. In fact, you know, if I were an advisor to President Trump, one of the things I would advise him to do is not watch cable news at all. Not watch it. Tune them out like they're tuning out you and your campaign. Because if you don't watch it, you can't be influenced by it, and you cannot be triggered by it. So I would not watch any cable news. I'm talking about Fox, CNN, MSNBC if I were President Trump. I wouldn't do it. All right, there's one opening on the board, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. Yes. Oh, you just made it just in time.
Good morning. My name is Angela, and I'm calling from New York City.
All right, New York City on the line. Good morning.
And I'm definitely a Trump supporter. Have been since day one. I love the man. I truly believe he's got a point, honestly. But what scares me the most is that the chief...
Now, let me ask you, did you watch Trump's speech last night? Okay. Now, let me ask you, would President Trump... Did you hear President Trump whine? Did you hear anything come from him that was what he said was, and this is what you got to listen to. You got to really listen to President Trump. Don't listen to unless it's me. Don't listen to other radio guys. Don't listen to other podcasters or other people on YouTube or wherever you watch or listen to me, unless it's me, who aren't, telling you crazy things. Listen to Trump and follow his lead. And Trump, he said it's going to be hard. He needs us. But I didn't hear anything negative. And what he said that was so true and so perfect was he was talking about the midterms, which he didn't whine about. He said the American people haven't felt how bad things are going to be yet. And they will. So that's what. So don't get involved in all that other stuff. It's first off, it's negative, it's discouraging, and I didn't hear talk like that from Trump. Well, there's a lot of people that do shows. I've been doing this a long, long time. There's a lot of people that do shows that are not on our side and are involved in psych ops to try to discourage you from supporting Trump. And we smoked out some fake MAGA, Winsome Sears, Candace Owens. There were others, okay? But we didn't smoke them all out. We still have some fake MAGA that we think are on our team who are going to talk about things to discourage people.
Because I really thought she was in for the long.
I tell you, I've said it for years, never trust a never Trumper. And before she was famous, she was a never Trumper. During Trump's first campaign, she was online commenting about his hand size, and you know what that reference is about, right? So, so Candace Owens just showed us what she really thinks.
Right. We just got to pray.
And that's right.
What?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the call from New York City. Now this is just me. I'm following the lead of Trump. Okay? And I'm listening to what President Trump has to say, and that's what I'm working with. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Robert from California.
Robert, up early in California, 3:38 in the morning in California. Holy smokes! What are you doing up?
Well, I woke up. I was hungry, and then I saw it was about 3 o'clock. I go, oh, Brian Craig show.
Oh, okay, good. So you got me tuned in on YouTube. So what'd you think of the announcement last night?
Well, I missed it, unfortunately.
Oh.
I see it. Yeah, I missed it. But I do want to see it, so I'm going to have to look up somewhere where I can find it.
Well, you'll be able to find it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, anyway, I do want to say I am a bit disappointed because I wish he had said, well, I think if he had said...
Now, when you watch the speech, it's only about an hour long, so make sure you have time to watch the whole thing, at one sitting, What he did last night, I'm glad he didn't do it at a rally. There was a lot of hype about it. The entire media were there. The whole mainstream media were there covering it. And it was more dignified. It was more important. It was more ceremonial. It was more serious and important. And the way I use this example of Ronald Reagan. It was like Ronald Reagan came out of retirement to save the country. And it was Trump in a way we've not really seen him too many times. It was very serious because there's a crisis coming.
World War III, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought it was great, but I'm sorry you didn't see, but President Trump talked about they're off at this ridiculous climate summit, yet they're talking about using nuclear weapons against Russia. How can you say that that our cars are destroying the environment, but you're talking about radiating the planet with nuclear weapons? It's so irresponsible.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got 3 things I want to say real quickly. Number 1, I hope you get 4 hours of sleep tonight, and tomorrow night I hope you get 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I got a busy day. I've got a meeting this evening with someone that I got to go to, and then I got to pick my daughter up at the airport like at 10 o'clock tonight. So this is going to be a rough couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all, I want to say I hope Trump does not tune into legacy media, ABC, CBS, NBC either, because they're against him as well. Even cable, like you said, cable news. But
Fox News is against him. Rupert Murdoch said they will not cover him, they will not cover his campaign, and they will support the Democrat against him.
So those are the things I want to say to you.
Well, I appreciate it. Great. This is really interesting. These last 2 calls, New York City MAGA, California MAGA. Isn't that something? It's amazing. Just because they're in liberal areas doesn't mean they're not MAGA. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Joe from New Jersey.
Hey, what's up?
Show,
Oh,
and
here comes the
I
butt.
know how much you love our country,
But
like most MAGA folks do, but
yeah, see.
more special operators.
No, we don't. No, excuse me. Right now, okay, right now, they are pushing us into a fake war to try to defeat Donald Trump in 2024. And I'm not going to tell any young man or young woman that they should go into the military right now. This is the worst time to go in the military ever because we're going up against a major power for political purposes. They're trying to start this war. So no, I'm going to discourage anyone I can from joining the service. And if they still want to join, I'm going to try to get them to join the Coast Guard. That's better.
They really need to step up and protect our nation.
How is it protecting our nation in Ukraine when they're starting a war in the Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Well, that's where the war's going to be. In Europe, they're starting. Did you see the story about the rockets hitting Poland, killing people?
I saw that. That's all distractions.
It's not a distraction. All right, listen, I'm up against the break, but thanks for the call. No, I am not going to do that. I'm going to discourage people to join the service. This is not the time. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Not going to do that. I'm going to discourage people to join the service. Yeah, I am. There's no way. Not the time. Call us on hold, stand by. There is no way. And I think you guys agree with me. You know, what do you think about that, though? Yes or no? Am I doing the right thing telling people not to join the service right now? Yes or no? I think I am. You know, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And I really like the things Trump said about China. When I get back, you know, he was talking about fentanyl. I'm going to get into that. You know, the fentanyl, this is all an attack by China. I'm going to go through this when we get back. Yes, I'm glad you guys are with me on that because I know we all support our military. But there should not be any type of military conflict. They have not even had peace talks, right? They just want to jump into a war. You want to try to stop it before it begins. Not just push to go into a war. Are you kidding me? If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. You'll really enjoy my content. I had a great podcast last night. My podcast is on all podcast platforms. No matter what the podcast platform is, the Brian Craig Show podcast is there. And I also upload it here on YouTube. And I co-host that show with my wife. It's great. And last night's episode and the one before, the last two podcasts are very relevant and spectacular. So please check them out. And like the video, guys. No, NATO, they're gonna push us into war. This head of the World Economic Forum, Count von Bülow here, you know, my goodness. Now, I'm going to get into this fentanyl thing before I go back to the calls because it's very important what's going on here. It really is. I don't take even an aspirin, you know. Yeah, right side's awesome. They are definitely awesome. Now I'm going to go home, eat, turn my phone off, and take a nap because I'm tired. I got a long day. I got to pick my daughter up at the airport at 10 o'clock tonight. And I got a meeting this evening at 6 in the evening, a business meeting. Oh, man. All right, Moon Pie, will you enlist, all right?
interest. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Oh, man. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, I want to tell you guys about Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. You know, they work on my cars, Steve's family's cars. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car does not need. They work on all makes and models, even hybrids. And I'll just tell you a quick story. You know, we put them to the test. I did and Steve did. And Steve had a better test than me. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable what Steve did. His son, Tyler, has a high-mileage vehicle. And he had his son, it was having some problems. They didn't know what was wrong with it, but they knew it was having some problems. So Steve had his son, Tyler, take his car to one of those big national garages, you know, and they looked over the car and gave him a printout of what he needed. And, you know, when you go to those places, the guy you're dealing with is a salesman, and what they're trying to do is get you to pay for as many repairs and maintenance as you can charge on a credit card. That's what they're going to do, whether you need the work on your vehicle or not. So they gave him a list, and then he took his car up to Champagne Automotive in Boca, and without giving them the list or telling them the story, had them look over the car bumper to bumper. And this is what we found. That first place that Steve's son Tyler went to told him that he needed $843.12. You heard me right. They told him he needed $843.12 in maintenance and repairs that the car did not need. Isn't that something? Finding an honest auto mechanic is next to impossible, but we've done it. And they do great work. I've seen it. They've worked on my daughter's car, my car, Steve's family's cars. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. Their number 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. You know, one of the things Trump talked about was the fentanyl crisis, which is back under Biden. You know, that's just who you want in charge of a drug crisis. Look at his family. He's got 2 kids, and they're both hooked on everything. They live in rehab more than they live in their homes. You know? And the fentanyl crisis is connected to the southern border crisis, and let me tell you how that is. The border crisis is the new drug trafficking of the 2020s. That's how they do it. You know, when I was a kid growing up here in Florida, you know, it's during the Miami Vice era, the Cocaine Cowboys era and all of that stuff. They would fly in the drugs on small airplanes. And many times I was out on Lake Okeechobee or on the Kissimmee River with my dad fishing in a boat. And my dad it was so bad back then, my dad would say, let's see how long until we see a drug plane fly overhead. And we would see planes fly in, single engine, twin engine planes, no numbers on them. They'd fly over the open country up there around Lake Okeechobee, and all of a sudden they'd start throwing things out of the plane. And you knew what those were. Drugs. Well, they don't do all that now. It's fentanyl, so it's smaller than some of the things that we're coming across. All these illegals coming across the border, that's how they're doing it. They've got fentanyl in their pockets and their bags and their baby bags, all over, everywhere. Their purses, everywhere. Their wallets, whatever they got, that's what's going on. And it's not just the drug cartels that are working with the Biden regime to do this. It's China, okay? The fentanyl in this country is manufactured at pharmaceutical fentanyl plants in China. China puts the fentanyl on freighters and sails them to Pacific ports in Mexico, where they're unloaded to the drug cartels. The drug cartels transport them to their side of the southern border and put it in the pockets and purses and everything else of the illegals, and they walk across with the fentanyl. And it's being done for the same reason that China has TikTok, to weaken this country. They're bringing us down, people. They're bringing us down. It's an attack on this nation from China, the fentanyl crisis. And you know what? Biden and the Biden regime know it, but they don't care, because somehow they're profiting from it. That's true. TikTok's the other thing. You know, all this stuff with the genders and all this stuff that flows through TikTok, that's how that became popular. It's to weaken our military-age men and women to pull from if there's a conflict. We are under so many sophisticated attacks by China. Most people, 98% of the population, maybe even higher, don't even know we're being attacked by China. And that's the way it is. Let me go back to the phones. We're talking about President Trump's amazing announcement last night. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Carlo.
Hey, Carlo. All right, MAGA, Maryland. That's right.
Hey, he blew me away last night. He blew me away. My thought about it is this is a man who was showing his resume and why he should be the president. And he has a great resume.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what really made me mad was I turned on Fox. Fox didn't show it live. They had the Tucker show. It wasn't until 10 o'clock when I switched over.
Really? Because the speech came on, so what'd they do during Hannity?
Well, Hannity should know. Tucker came on at 9 where Hannity should be.
Oh.
And
really?
What happened was, so I figured I'll wait till 10 o'clock and see if they'll show it. So I switched over short. They showed it, but they showed it from the beginning. They recorded the whole thing. To me, it was like they were waiting an hour deciding whether they should show it or not.
Or if they wanted to edit things out of it.
Yes, sir, but
let me tell you, it is so important to turn off Fox, turn on Newsmax. Even if you don't watch Newsmax, turn it on while you're at work on all the TVs in your house. If we could get the ratings where Newsmax is number 4 in cable news, if we could get them to beat MSNBC at number 3, you know, it would start to scare the rest of the media, because that jump would be simply because they're actually reporting the news.
Mad. I was really mad because, like I said, I figured let me try 10 o'clock and see if they show any of it. And they did, but they started from the beginning when he was walking in and everything. So they recorded the whole thing. And I told my son, you know what? To me, it seemed like they were taking an hour. Should I show it or should I not show it? And, you know, it made me mad.
Yeah, well, it should make you mad. You know, they're covering up the news. And it's so strange to me, right? The whole national media are there. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They're there and they don't cover it. Why do they even bother sending people?
I know. But the good part was at the very end, Rob Smith, before he signed off, he said, well, Twitter's lit up. He said, it's starting already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Appreciate the call. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right. There we go. The liberal response. Our number, 888-GO-CANE-1. And let me play. This is President Trump actually making the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
I mean, isn't that great? How can that not give you goosebumps? I've got goosebumps. I'm wearing long sleeves. I got goosebumps on both arms. Oh, man. Oh, man. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. I want to hear your thoughts, your feelings, your analysis, your emotional reaction to President Trump's announcement last night. I think it was better than I ever would have imagined. I think it was his best speech yet, and it was so relevant and timely to everything that we're facing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Hey, Richard. What's up? Randall, $20 super chat. Thank you. Please thank Randall.
Right when Sean Hannity started, it began, and it was also live on CNN. So I don't know if they just.
Well, what I heard that too, but I heard they cut away, and I turned on Fox this morning. MSNBC did not carry it at all. I turned on Fox early this morning. They do live overnights. They did not even mention it. And I watched for 40 minutes.
Well, he did a great job. We're all excited. It was just as great as we thought it would be.
It was better. All right, appreciate the heads up. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Cheryl from Chicago.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi. I just wanted to say, and sum it all up, is like President Trump is the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And his mouth. He encourages patriotism, proudness of your country, strength.
Yeah.
Strength as a leader, strength in all ways, economically, being wealthy in jobs, in less restrictive government action on businesses, which are a good thing because you can over-restrict, which they do.
Yeah. So were you energized by President Trump's announcement?
Oh, he's like the 4th of July. That's all I can say. He's like
Celebration, yeah. Did he seem different to you? Didn't it seem like a different tone? More serious?
No, yes, he wasn't at a rally. No, he wasn't. What I think, like you said, I would definitely not watch the news. Like you had said, I agree 100% with that. And anytime someone goes to interview him and starts with their tactic of trying to
yeah.
it's a tactic, I would just walk away. I really would, because he had done that one time when someone said, "Is that racist?" And he just started to walk away. And he said simply, "I am not racist."
He should handle them like he did Greta Thunberg at the UN was trying to get up next to him, and he just walked away from her, didn't give her the chance to pull a stunt. Remember that? Well, hey, listen, I'm up against our top of the hour break, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
The new Oldies 95.
Oh, I broke 10 seconds early. I got the clocks off. He didn't look tired at all. He looked serious. He looked concerned. He looked serious. That's how it looked to me. You know? Yeah, Barron. My goodness. The tallest person in the room was Barron. Right? Seven o'clock. I am so excited about that speech last night. It was, all the speculation, it was better than anyone speculated that it would be, wasn't it? It really was. Really was. I'm just answering some email from you guys. Yeah, if you ever want to email me, if you go to my website, briancraigshow.com, that's the website for my podcast and everything, you can email me through my website, briancraigshow.com. And I do read them. My wife does too. She's my wife is, and my daughter are my assistants. And every email is read, and most of them are read by me. If I don't get to one, and then my wife and daughter do. If they read one and I don't, they tell me about it. All right, so I'm just writing people back now. I know, what a great day. What a great day. Let's see. Oh, man. Just so excited. So excited. This is going to be such an incredible campaign. Things are so serious now. They're always serious and important, but this country could end up in the Third World War and an economic depression at the same time. And they want both. I think they want us to be broke. They think that they can control us better. All right, welcome back, everyone. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And I got to tell you, we're right down the street from Mar-a-Lago. And when we move to the corporate headquarters at the new radio studios, we're going to be even closer to Mar-a-Lago. But I'm looking out over the beach right now, and the sun is the brightest it's been at sunrise in weeks. It's got to have something to do with President Trump's announcement right up the street, right up the beach at Mar-a-Lago. Now, I want to talk a moment about EET Services, our fence and gate repair experts. They repaired Steve's fence. Did I say face? The face of his fence, which is the gate. That's what I meant to say. They repaired his gate and his fence, EET Services. And I got an email from a listener who gave them a call. He said, I called the fencing company you mentioned, EET Services, and an extremely polite, accommodating man answered after just 2 rings. He said he'd be out today to evaluate my fencing situation and get me an estimate. I could tell this was an individual focused on growing his business with a focus on customer service, the way it used to be. That's so true. And, when I tell you that before we found EET Services, finding a company that does repairs on fences and gates is impossible. These companies just don't do it. It's not worth their time, and it's really a con. It's like the fencing companies have an arrangement where none of them will do repairs. It's terrible because oftentimes you just need a repair. I've been through this. If you're in Florida, you've been through it. Steve was having a really difficult time. His gate and his fence needed repairs, and no one would come out and repair it. They would sell him a new fence. They'd sell him a new gate, but wouldn't repair what he already had. Isn't that terrible? Now, EET Services, they are fence and gate repair experts, but if you need or want a new fence or a gate, they can handle new, too. They don't just do repairs, but if all you need is a repair, they'll do it like they did Steve's. And let me tell you, his fence and gate are incredible. They're just beautiful. They're family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, have over 20 years of experience, and they work on all types of fencing: iron, aluminum, chain link, wood, PVC. If there's other types of materials I left out, they do those too. They work on both residential and commercial properties. They give a 15% discount to all first responders, military personnel, and school teachers. And they'll beat any competitor's pricing. So if you have someone who's come out and given you an estimate on your fence, on your gate, EET will beat it. Also, they have no minimum charge on work that they do. The other companies do. It's not worth my time. EET, no minimum charge. And they give free estimates. So give them a call. They handle the whole South Florida area, the entire coverage area of all of our radio stations. Here's the number, 561-255-1170. 561-255-1170. Make sure when you call, you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 561-255-1170. All right, we're going to go back to the phones. We're talking about the announcement of President Trump's last night. And what I'm asking people to do is share their thoughts, their feelings, their analysis. I was tearing up. And even as we've been talking about it so far this morning, I've been getting goosebumps throughout the entire conversation I've had with those of you that have called in today. And when I played the clip, oh man, let me play how President Trump ended the speech.
But we need everyone involved. We need everyone's help. We need to look out for one another. We need to be friends, and we need every patriot on board. Because this is not just a campaign. This is a quest to save our country. Talking about saving our country. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am asking for your vote. I am asking for your support. And I am asking for your friendship and your prayers of this very incredible but dangerous journey. If our movement remains united and confident, then we will shatter the forces of tyranny and we will unleash the glories of liberty for ourselves and for our children and for generations yet to come. America's golden age is just ahead, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America glorious again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm getting teary-eyed right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I don't know if you guys can tell. But, oh man, how could you be against any of that? We have this senile, corrupt old public official who doesn't even know what continent he's on, taking us into the Third World War and wrecking our economy. And, you know, the inflation, the rulers of this country right now, they love the inflation. Do you know why? Because they think if you're poor, they can control you better. That's why. They want you to be broke. They want you not to be able to fill up your gas tank or worry where the lunch money and the grocery money is coming from, because they can control you then. They don't even want to better these situations. We have a full board of calls, so let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian, what they're doing, and I don't think they realize it, the Democrats are dividing themselves against the country, the majority of it, and they think by making us break, they're going to divide MAGA, and it's never going to happen. We are 100% behind President Trump. We are 100% behind America, the Constitution, the rule of law, and we are more united than ever right now, Brian, and I am so glad that President Trump is going to stick up for we the people. He is fighting for us, and he'll never stop.
Yeah, you know, do you see Ron DeSantis running against Trump after that night? I don't think so.
Way.
Now, they're going to put up a bunch of never-Trumper Republicans up against him, okay? And whoever runs against him, just write their name down on the list. That list with Winsome Sears and Candace Owens on it?
Absolutely, Brian. And I think the only one they have, and it makes no sense, is Mike Pence, because who else would run against President Trump?
Well, look, who's promoting Mike Pence, right? The same people that were promoting Michael Avenatti. And I want to say something in defense of Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity had Pence on night before last, and I told you guys yesterday, he had Pence on. He made a deal with Fox. He doesn't own Fox. He doesn't own that, you know, that he's got bosses. He made a deal with them. I'll have Pence on if you let me carry the Trump speech. So don't be, I know a lot of people are upset at Hannity for interviewing Pence, but that's what he did. He made a deal. And sometimes you've got to do that.
Wow, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that. That's a good point, Brian.
And so Hannity was successful in doing what has not been able to happen in 2 years. That's have a Trump speech on Fox News Channel prime time.
I'd like to see, I don't even think it'll get to the point where Pence or anyone will debate Trump, because it would be futile and embarrassing for them. What are they going to run on against Trump?
Yeah. Did you, January 6th is what they think, but I got news for you. We're going to have the committees come January, and we're going to find out what really happened on January. I'm sure many of you heard Christopher Wray was asked if there were embedded FBI agents in MAGA gear in the Capitol that day. He wouldn't answer the question. So we're going to get the answers to all of those things because we're going to control the committee. Were you emotional last night listening to the announcement of President Trump?
Very much.
Yeah.
Very calm. I thought he was systematically in his speech. A couple of times he went off script, I think, and it made it a little longer. But I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it was different. It was different, and I hope he continues this. Hey, Jeff, I got to run, but thanks for the call. Oh, man, callers on hold, stand by. Jeff Remain always has great calls and content and analysis and observations. There's only one opening where Jeff Remain was at. My name's Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Has great calls and content and analysis and observations. Oh, man. There's only one opening where Jeff Remain was at. My name's Brian Just a beautiful speech. I'm going to probably watch it again today.
Wake up and smell the truth. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Mornings 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Eagle Eye Protection Services for all your firearm and security patrol service needs. Receive personal firearms training, including concealed carry from you, your friends, your neighbors, by professional instructor, owner.
Yeah, so I got the word that sooner rather than later I'm going to move to the new facility. But when I first move there, I probably will not be in my permanent new studio. But I'm going to be moving very soon to the Palm Beach building. I'll probably find out today when exactly. But they don't have the new studios and everything all set up yet. I do know that. Candace screwed up. Candace Owens screwed up, and I'm glad she did, because now, so what is she going to do now? Well, when I move, it's not going to be into the final new digs. I'm going to be moved to the new, well, it's a new building for me, but it's the corporate headquarters for the company that owns the radio stations. So, I'm excited. Here, I'm just kind of by myself right now. So it'll be nice to be there where all the big shots are, and it's closer to Mar-a-Lago. No, that was a different speech from Trump. It really was. Yeah. Yeah, this is from the official Trump store. My wife and daughter got this for me. I'm not sure if it was for my birthday or Christmas. I can't remember. I think it might have been my birthday or no, may have been Father's Day. I can't remember. But this is from the official Trump store. This thing costs like $80. I couldn't believe it. They didn't tell me. I went and looked it up. But and you can tell this is like Trump, because it is so, the material is so good. It is so comfortable and perfect. You know, it's very high quality. Yeah, I'd like to have more hoodies from there, but at those prices, beyond my budget. I knew she wasn't, Alan, for a long time, and looks up the price for a gift. Well, yeah, because I'm paying for the gift, right? Oh, man. All right, we're coming back. Yes, yes, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Call us on hold, stand by. We're talking about President Trump's just incredible announcement last night. I mean, I got the goosebumps again. Just this time, just on one side of my body, my arm and shoulder. Boom, goosebumps. Just mentioning it. I know I cannot be the only person who feels this way, but I got to tell you something. Today is a day where you've got to tune over to Newsmax, turn away from Fox. Go try to find Real America's Voice if you can. Download the app. They're doing great coverage. This is where you want to be for your news now. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Berta. Oh man.
We fired Nancy Pelosi.
That's a good one. You know, there were a lot of things President Trump said last night that were great. A couple of the things I liked how he you know, there was another president who, by the way, had 2 non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland had 2 non-consecutive terms. He was president for 4 years, was out for 4 years, and then came back, okay? And I know it was a long time ago, but it's happened before. And, you know, I like how he referred to this period as the pause. And that's you know, and that means a lot of things, and it could mean different, but what it means is things were perfect and now they're on pause, and as soon as I'm back, we'll release the pause and everything will be perfect again.
Right, and it's true. It's been like that, and everything Trump said, everything he said is true. Anytime he opens his mouth and I'm thinking, oh, this is outrageous, and I look it up, he's right all the time. Now, I am concerned.
Oh yes, the war. This World War III that they're about to get us involved in.
You are so on point, Brian, because when I read this before waiting for your show to come on, I was reading it, and they're meeting, supposedly NATO's meeting on Wednesday for Section 4. I want to see exactly what Section 4 is, but my goodness, because of 2 Polish superiors who got killed at this, all this is BS, you know. This can't, you know.
Well, here's what's happened. I mean, this is what was reported this morning, okay? I mean, kind of in the middle of the night. It looks like it was Russian rockets, but they were diverted to Poland because they were hit by Ukrainian fire. So that happened because of Ukraine, and I got to tell you, we were talking yesterday about how Zelensky was involved very openly with this crypto money laundering with the Democrats, and we're going to let this guy take us into the 3rd World War. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? But I'm telling you, it's going to happen now, and this is so important. I'm going to just repeat this.
Pray for our country, because like Trump said, this is not going to be easy. We need to pray for our country and for Trump.
That's right.
He's going into the fire.
See, the way I've been describing this, and I've asked several people this question on the phone this morning, but the way it felt like to me was like Ronald Reagan was coming out of retirement to save us.
Did you see how focused he was?
Oh, yeah.
He means business, so and he knows how close this is. He knows what's going on. He knows exactly what the fentanyl. He knows all these business tactics that the Democrats are using.
Well, remember, he gets national security briefings still, so he knows everything that's going on, and he's very up to date on all the intelligence.
And I just want to remind Patriots, regardless of the noise, stay united. We need to have unity in our party. One thing about the Democrats, they always stick together, regardless. And one thing we're known about, we always stray. it's time for us Republicans to come together. Stop the BS.
Well, I'm very happy to see that Rick Scott is continuing his challenge of Mitch McConnell. Yeah, well, he said it. He said it. Yeah.
McConnell says it's not going to happen. He's going to be the next speaker.
Did Mitch McConnell say that in English or Mandarin?
No, it's probably Mandarin.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Berta from Texas. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I want to tell you guys, when it's Christmas shopping season, there's no better place to do your Christmas shopping than MyPillow.com. The great Mike Lindell was there at the announcement last night, by the way. And you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, not just the ones that I highlight, but I do talk about some of my favorite, including the MyPillow My Slippers. You know, the MyPillow My Slippers, they have a whole bunch of new sizes in for guys that have larger feet, the big and wide sizes. They have those now. I have 2 pairs of the MyPillow My Slippers. I have the tan slip-ons and the tan moccasins, fur-lined. And they have many different styles and colors, including pink for the ladies. And they make great Christmas gifts. They really, truly do. And they're high quality. They're made for all-day wear. As soon as I get home, I'm like Mr. Rogers. I take my shoes off and put on my MyPillow My Slippers, and that's what I wear until I come to work the next morning. When you go to MyPillow.com, you can get the MyPillow My Slippers for $90 off. That's right, when you use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Wellington.
Oh, man.
The whole speech last night was great. I thought he was in a different tone, and he looked great. I don't know if they do that with the cameras and make him look darker. I don't know how that works, but he definitely looked like he had his tan back.
Well, he's been out on the golf course, and these rallies, a lot of them are outside too. He's been getting sun.
Right. True. I guess because it was inside and really enclosed, it just looked different. But he sounded great. He was on target. He definitely kind of put to rest whether it was going to be him or DeSantis last night, I feel like. And my question is about Ukraine, and do you think it's going to continue to escalate now that FTX has been fully exposed? And do you think it's going to go to a full-fledged?
Yeah, I think the war is going to be elevated big time. Remember, this is very important. I told this in the last hour. No American president has lost re-election during time of war, ever. There have been presidents that didn't run, like Johnson in Vietnam, okay? But no president has lost in time of war, and everybody knows that in Washington. So I think they're going to escalate a very hot, serious war, the Third World War. Thanks a lot, Europe. 3rd time, you know. And they're going to do it because they think that'll keep them in power.
I mean,
I'm serious. I'm not kidding about that. And I don't do clickbaity hype. I'm serious as a heart attack.
I believe it. I mean, that would be the only way that they could, and then kind of keep the structure in place. But I don't understand how they would be able to do that when they were trying to blame Trump for almost doing that last time or whatever.
Look at what's going on now. There was these rockets that went into Poland. Everyone knows that was either an accident or a wag the dog, okay? No, everyone knows that Russia did not intentionally fire rockets into Poland. And here's NATO. They're all excited now. We can get our war. I'm tired of fighting for wars for Europe and military donors to the government and the officials.
I mean, I don't see any end of that war working better for us than just walking away from it.
It's a civil war. It's between Russia and Ukraine. If they can buy crypto, they don't need us.
Right, yeah. If they can...
Hey, Vincent Wellington, I got to run for a bottom of the hour break, okay? Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. They don't need us.
Right, yeah. If they can...
Exactly.
Hey,
Vincent Wellington, I got to run for a bottom of the hour break, okay? Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3.
Oh, man, this is just what's going on with Ukraine. I'm going to talk about this when I get back. I want to ask you guys this. So what's being reported now is the Russian rockets were being fired into Ukraine. Ukraine was responding and knocked the Ukraine response knocked the rockets into Poland. Yes or no? Did Zelensky do that on purpose? Because this crypto story, this money laundering op was just exposed, right? Did Zelensky knock these Russian rockets into Poland on purpose? Yes or no? What do you guys think? I'm very curious. I mean, I say yes, but I don't know. Maybe I'm out there. We got a no. We got one no. 2 no's. Mostly yeses, though. Really? It just so happens right after the crypto money laundering operation is exposed, that happens? You don't think that's a little coincidental? I don't believe in coincidences. We got 3 no's. Why would they do it? Because it gets the money laundering operation out of the news with Ukraine that's breaking. And they want us in a war over there. Biden wants a war. They want a war. NATO wants it too. That's why. They want to be in NATO. This pushes them in NATO. There's all kinds of reasons why they would do it. Well, we got 3 or 4 no's, but everyone else has said yes. I think it's a yes too. This is how they are. They're snakes. These are terrible people we're dealing with. Make sure you all like the video if you don't mind, and please subscribe if you're new. And I want to tell you guys, this is one of our YouTube watchers, Robert Allen Miltenberg, wrote this really cool book, Pool Boy to the Mob. He was a pool boy at a mob-owned hotel in Miami Beach when he was a kid in the 70s, and he wrote this cool book about it. It's available on Amazon. It's well-reviewed on Amazon. He doesn't watch live. He watches later in the day. But support our MAGA brother author here, Pool Boy to the Mob, Robert Allen Miltenberg. Buy your copy on Amazon. All right? That's right. Oh. Welcome, Sai Zuri. New member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. New member to the YouTube channel. Welcome. Make sure you take advantage of those emojis. We got rid of the Candace Owens emoji and replaced it with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah. Since she was smoked out as a fake MAGA person, Candace Owens, she doesn't get an emoji. We took her emoji away. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep. I got about 2.5 hours sleep. So I got so much work to do later in the day. So I'm going to go home, eat, turn my phone off, and try to go to sleep. But I can't imagine. Do I think Green or Lake will be the VP? Not Carrie Lake. It will not be Carrie Lake. It'll be someone else. He's not going to pick a VP who didn't win and they have no experience whatsoever. If she had won, if she was the governor and she had a couple years of experience of doing things, yes. But I would say the favorite right now is still Ron DeSantis. Yeah. That would be my guess. You know. You need to have some, somebody that's got some experience. And so. So that's going against her. Lost my internet connection on my iPad. I'll reboot it. Anytime you have a computer problem, the best thing to do first is reboot. Turn it off and on. Well, you don't really reboot an iPad, but I've had this iPad for a long time. Maybe I need a new one. I only use this iPad when I'm on the air because it's better than a computer you know, than my lap, because it's small, I can hold it, you know. But the disadvantage is I have all of my show prep material always on my iPad. You only get a couple hours sleep? Yeah, I just got a long day. I got meetings later in the day, and then I got to pick up my daughter at 10 o'clock at the airport tonight, 10 o'clock tonight. Steve will probably be joining us in the next hour. He got less sleep than I got. Oh, it's time to come back already. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on our very busy board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. You know, yesterday afternoon, there was a knock at my door. I didn't know who it was. I'm like, what is going on? Who's coming to my door? I wasn't expecting anyone. And I looked, and it was the guy from the cable company. That's right. It was the Xfinity guy. And I knew who it was because I've got my doorbell camera, and I can see who was at my front door. Let me tell you, it's not just added security because it's connected to my security system, and it's got night vision, day vision, it records, it's got all those cool things. But it's convenient. When there's someone at my door, not only can I know who's there exactly, but I don't have to get up from what I'm doing to see who's there, no matter what room I'm at in the house, if I'm in the backyard, even if I'm sitting here in the studio. Yesterday, I got a notification on my iPad, and there was someone at my front door. I'm like, what is going on? And I looked, and my wife had ordered Instacart. It was grocery delivery. So, you know, so it's really exciting. It's convenient. It's added security, and you can get a doorbell camera for free. Call Sloman's. They'll tell you how. And when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. They're going to tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. Okay, here's the number. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. No matter where you're listening, call them. 833-283-5050. It'll change your life. It'll be so convenient. You'll love it. And it's great to have. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi there, the masked lady in Boca.
Yes, what's up? Yes.
Hi, Will's speech was wonderful as usual. But I want to ask you, did Hannity carry this?
I wasn't watching Fox. I was watching Newsmax, but I have been told that they did carry it on Fox.
I didn't think so. At 9 o'clock, I turned on Hannity.
Really? I don't know. I wasn't watching Fox. So if someone was watching Fox, I've gotten mixed reports.
But you were saying that he traded off Pence for the speech.
Well, he may not have been, if he didn't carry it, he wasn't successful, but I've heard mixed reports.
So anyway, I switched immediately to Greta. Not a thing was mentioned.
Well, Greta, it was on 3 hours before the speech. Oh, my goodness. You know, this is what happened. Are you still wearing the mask? Oh, I get oxygen. You're not getting enough oxygen, Louise. Oh, my goodness. They carried it on Newsmax, okay? And I've heard it reported that they carried it on Fox. I don't know when or how much. Someone told me they cut away from it. Oh, my goodness. She's not getting enough oxygen, Louise. She's been wearing the mask longer than anyone else I know. I wonder, you know, she's in Florida. I wonder if she has tan lines on her face from the mask. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
So that was glorious last night. 100% glorious. He looked amazing. But I do want to comment. Melania looked absolutely stunning. She looked phenomenal last night. They look like they're ready, and they should be.
Yeah, and Barron was the tallest guy in the room.
Because this Trump is like 6'3". Like, he's big. He's big and tall. He's like a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they all look great. But I do want to say this. People need to pay attention to who says what today. Because I think Mitch McConnell already came out last night with the trash.
Well, China's response, I got to tell you, I felt that speech was so moving. I was so emotionally affected by it. I mean, were you?
I was. And the reason why I was is because he recognizes that our country is being destroyed from within.
Yeah, by design.
By design, exactly. And people haven't seen nothing yet. But I do also want to say, Brian, you're 100% right. Nobody should be signing up for the military right now, especially not if you're going to fall under the rank of General Milley. Nobody should be signing up for the military right now. I think the Coast Guard is a great idea.
Now, let me ask you, I'm going to ask this of you guys out there, and I don't say this lightly, okay? A lot of people on the radio, they like just to be outrageous. I don't like to be outrageous to be outrageous, okay? So if I say something that sounds crazy or something, I'm serious. So these Russian rockets that hit Poland and killed, what, two people? What, I don't know. Okay, first, that was the story. Now what's being reported is that Ukraine was, their response hit the rockets and pushed them into Poland. Do you think it's possible that Zelensky did that on purpose? Push the Russian rockets into Poland?
Absolutely. 100%. Zelensky is a tyrant who is big.
And he's a money launderer. He's a money launderer, we found out, with the FTX crypto scandal with the Democrats.
And he's a money launderer installed by who? Joe Biden and Barack Obama. And that's all I need to know.
Yeah, and today, and look at this. Here you got today, GW and Obama are getting together to have a summit on how to handle disinformation.
Yes, because the government is the people that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're not falling in line with them. Yeah, exactly. They're putting together a ministry of truth.
Great, and that's why we need Trump, because he knows what the game is, and he knows what time it is. But people should be paying attention to who's saying what.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And it's their turn. They need to go.
That's right.
Need to go.
That's right. All right. Appreciate the call, Andrea. You too. Oh, man. We have not had a call today that had one negative response to the Trump announcement. Every caller today and has been moved, is excited, is energized, is and grateful and thankful. We have not had one negative call involving Trump's speech last night. Very interesting. You're welcome to call in if you don't agree with us. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I hear you breathing. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Brian.
Yes, what's your name?
My name is Russ from Massachusetts.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Donald Trump is so great. There's one thing that separates him from everybody else. He is true to his word. When he says he's going to do something, he gets it done. And with all the red tape that he has to go through, he still gets it done.
Yeah. Yeah, and his chairs are made of gold. Did you see the chairs in that place last night? They're made of gold. I mean, when your economy is messed up, who do you want? Who do you want? A guy who can afford gold chairs, or a corrupt public official who made his money by taking bribes his whole life?
If he's done it all on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Worked hard all his life. Look at his family. His family's been brought up the right way. It's definitely God sent.
Did you watch the announcement last night? Now I was tearing up. What about you?
I knew he was going to run, Brian, but when he finally said it, It did. It just brought goosebumps all over.
Yeah.
Official.
It's real.
If anybody can do it, it's him.
Well, he said it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
No, I would just like to see Ron DeSantis endorse him now. That's what.
Well, I will say Ron DeSantis, I think, has a public responsibility to come out today and get behind President Trump. I agree with you, and there should be no hesitation in that. Yeah, and it would be very productive. And if he doesn't do it soon, they'll use that. You know, yesterday he was asked for the first time about the Trump attacks, and he didn't say anything negative about Donald Trump. I'll play the clip later, maybe. But I think Ron DeSantis owes it to us. You know, he's my governor. I love him. I support him. I was just at our sponsor, Wings Plus, with him, and I'll continue to support him. But he needs to come out and endorse President Trump today, because a lot of people are already doing that, and they're saying they're not going to support him. We need him not to sit on the fence. We need him to come out and he's already won. So he's got there's no excuse for him not to endorse President Trump immediately. Hey, thanks for the call. We're up against our break. Call is on hold, stand by. There's only one opening at 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will be back with your calls after this. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will be back with your calls after this.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys, and please like the video. When you guys like the video, it helps me out a lot. It really does, because it recommends this video and my other content to people that have not found my channel yet, and that helps me out quite a bit. Yeah, I'm going to go to the phones when we get back. But I think it's interesting that none of the liberals have called in today. You know? Now, one of the liberals has called in today to comment on what's happening. You know, as energized as we are, they're depressed by it. They just can't believe that it's happening. And I thought for sure we would hear from a Democrat, right? Greg too? I don't know. Good question. I don't know where he is. Oh, I'm so tired. 2.5 hours sleep. How much sleep did you guys get last night? If you've gotten any, right? Isn't it hard to go to sleep after that? It really is. It really, really is. It's almost impossible to go to sleep. 4 hours. They haven't received their talking points yet. That's true. 5 hours, 6 hours. Oh, man. 3 on and off. 4 to 5 hours is good for me. But, no, couldn't go to sleep. No, Kathy, like, we watched it in bed. And then Kathy's like, okay, you got to go to bed. So she went in our home office so I could go to sleep. And she comes back in. I'm watching the speech again. She's like, you need to go to bed. I'm like, I'm watching the speech again. Pretty funny. Yeah, well, 7.2 hours. Wow. Very precise there, Chaplain. Yeah. 4 hours sleep to 5 hours is about perfect for me. 8 hours, holy smokes. The last time I got 8 hours sleep, I was passed out after drinking. You need 8 hours, yeah. You average 6. I try sometimes to get like a long night sleep. And we're coming back. But it never works out for me. It just doesn't work out. If I go to bed early, I just wake up earlier. Oh, man, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, and I'm functioning on about 2.5 hours sleep. I couldn't sleep after that. I couldn't. It was very difficult to go to sleep after the speech. You know that we haven't heard from one Democrat, one liberal on the phones today? I'm really in shock about it. I was expecting it. There's one opening on the board right now at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, but we haven't heard from one liberal today. Isn't that something? And every caller has been really moved by President Trump's announcement last night, so things are going well. This is just a great day. Now, I want to read an email that I received from a listener yesterday, Mark, about our fence and gate company, EET, that just repaired Steve's fence and his gate and did a great job, too. Listen to this. I called the fencing company you mentioned, EET Services. I got this yesterday, right after the show, and an extremely polite and accommodating man answered after just 2 rings. He said he'd be out today to evaluate my fencing situation and get me an estimate. I could tell this was an individual focused on growing his business with a focus on customer service, kind of the way it used to be. That's Mark. Isn't that something? Yeah. You know, EET Services did an incredible job on Steve's fence and gate. They did a beautiful job. Steve just needed a repair on each. One part of his fence was damaged, and he had some repairs on his gate. And he couldn't find anyone to do the repairs because these other companies don't do repairs. They just don't. EET does. They're family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, have over 20 years of experience. They cover our entire listening area for all of our radio stations. They work on all types of fence materials, wood, chain link, PVC, aluminum, iron. And if there's any other fencing material that I left out, I don't know if there are. I'm not the fencing expert. They are. But if there's any other type of fence material I left out, they do that too. They work on both residential and commercial. They offer 15% off if you're a school teacher, military, or a first responder. There's no minimum charge for work. Now, they do new fences. If you need a whole new fence or a new gate, they'll do that too. But they do repairs on both. They'll also beat any competitor's price. So if you've had someone that's giving you a price on a fence, on a gate, they'll beat it. And there's no minimum charge like the other companies have. And they give free estimates. Here's the number. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio. 561-255-1170. 561-255-1170. One more time, that's 561-255-1170. All right. I'm going to take the last call that came in on that one open line just ahead of everyone else because I'm thinking maybe it's a liberal. Maybe it's a liberal. We'll find out. We haven't heard from one liberal, one never-Trumper today. I'm shocked. I thought they would have the phone lines lit up telling us what a bad idea it was. But I haven't heard from one. Let's see. You're the last person to call, so let's see. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Jersey. What's up?
Well, I don't want to disappoint you. I'm not a liberal.
Oh, no. I can't believe that. Why have we not gotten one liberal calling in and responding to this Trump announcement?
Well, too much confidence and too much good energy after that speech last night. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Trump maintaining this tone, can he maintain this tone? Can he not get so much into the ego? I think this is a killer approach going into the general election.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to get in any combat with the media again. I don't think there'll be any of that. No, I think it'll be I think we saw a more serious side of President Trump last night because things are serious, and I think this is going to be the way moving forward because the little bit of analysis I've seen, Lindsey Graham, Lindsey Graham will always gravitate to whoever the strong male is. Have you noticed that? McCain, Trump, But even he said if President Trump maintains this tone, it's a winning tone. And he'll win the presidency again if he maintains this.
Yeah, agree. My other question would be, do you think he's going to get the same volume of media coverage?
No, they're going to do a blackout. There's going to be a blackout. They're going to do a blackout. Rupert Murdoch said the other day that before the announcement, he said, if you run, I'm not going to cover you, and I'm going to back the Democrat. Rupert Murdoch said that a couple days ago.
Okay.
No, they're going to have a media blackout and figure, well, since it's not on, yesterday I talked to a guy who was surprised that some Democrats won things, and I said, well, there's still Democrats out there, and he was shocked. I said, because he doesn't know or associate with liberals, and the cable news are in a bubble, and they think that if it's not on their air, that no one will know about it. And what you're going to find is a major ratings decline. I turned on Fox News this morning for 40 minutes. They didn't mention it. Didn't mention it. I mean, come on. They were talking about a crime story somewhere. They're doing all kinds of things. They didn't even mention it. That's not going to work.
Yeah, and I was wondering, because I heard a couple of your callers call in saying that they, they didn't see it on Fox. I don't have regular cable. I just go through a YouTube Fire Stick, but I was wondering if these major networks covered it, and I guess.
Well, this is what I want to do. I want to Newsmax. I'm a big fan of Newsmax TV. I really am. I've been a fan of Chris Ruddy's since he was covering, Vince Foster and the Arkansas Troopers and everything, and Chris Ruddy is amazing. So I've always been a supporter of Newsmax before they even had a website. I don't remember how Chris Ruddy used to get his information out, though. I can't remember. He used to be on, Geraldo had a show on CNBC, and I remember he used to be on there. But anyway, Newsmax is number 4 in the ratings in cable news. And if we could make them number 3, beating out MSNBC, that might start to wake up the rest of the cable news. Well, so if you got Newsmax, watch it. Put it on your TV when you go to work. Leave it on all day on all your TVs. Do whatever you can do to make them number 1.
That's what I do. Hey, Brian, I just got to tell you, thank you and Steve, thank you very much for your content. And your wife, Kathy, really a go-to source for all this current information.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for your call. No, thank you for your support by listening and calling. Yeah. All right, he wasn't a liberal. There's one opening on the board, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Yeah. I guess they just don't know what to say. It was so good and perfect. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike from Boca.
Hey, Mike.
And you know that. Last night I was at work, but I was able to watch it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew he was going to run. I knew, and you knew, he was going to run back in November of 2020 when.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Serious. Now, so last night I had heard that MSNBC did not play it. CNN did play it, and apparently CNN was the first one to tell people that President Trump would sign the papers earlier that day for the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox played it, but they were over talking it. Is that true? Because did you watch? What station did you?
Newsmax, and then after, I went and found it on YouTube and watched it the second time on YouTube. Yeah. I didn't check it out because I didn't want to miss a second of what President Trump was saying, flipping around.
I understand that they were doing like a little screen shot, a little picture-in-picture, but it was on the side of his conference, his announcing. So I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I heard. So
yeah.
I just want to say that GOP, like all of them need to back him.
Well, they're not. They already are out there now. I mean, they're already out there.
I know it's funny that you mentioned Newsmax because I know people that listen to you still watch Fox. I strongly recommend to watch Newsmax.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mulvaney is out there attacking Trump after the announcement.
Mulvaney, I never liked him, but he's been attacking him for the last couple of months if you ever watch him, but everyone try to watch Newsmax.
Yeah, and Chris Christie, and I know Chris Christie is going to be a regular on Brett Baer's program. You know how I know this? They have a new chair there that is heavily reinforced on the Brett Baird desk, and that's got to mean Chris Christie's getting ready to be a regular.
These anti-establishment guys that are not, they're not that old, and and I'm very suspicious of Newsmax, but the other, he was a senator, I think it was somewhere up north. Can't remember his name, but he's on a lot. He's a contributor.
I don't know who you're talking about. Well, there's going to be a lot of Republicans out there, many you may have voted for, who are going to be trashing Trump today and all weekend long. Yeah, but I think they're going to. I'm expecting today. I'm going to tune in a little bit to Fox and before I check out, because I want to see how little or how much coverage they give to analysis of it.
Because like the night of the by the way, another thing, night of the election.
Well, that's when Newsmax became so highly rated. Hey, Mike, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Listen, there's only one opening on the board, and we are looking for liberals. We haven't had one liberal to call in today with their thoughts or analysis. Now, I want to tell everyone quickly about Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain system. It worked on me twice. Rid me of my knee pain over 2 months ago, and a week and a half ago, he rid me of my arthritis pain in my finger with the laser away pain treatment. If you are suffering from any type of pain, laser away pain can help. And if you go in and see Dr. Appleton for your laser away pain treatment, he will also give you free acupuncture. And he gave me acupuncture in my finger, in the joint where I have the arthritis. And I am pain-free. And this was some really bad arthritic pain, and the pain is gone thanks to Dr. Appleton and his acupuncture and his laser away pain. You don't have to get the acupuncture if you don't want, by the way. I did not get acupuncture on my knee, and it rid me of the pain in my knee. But if you're curious or interested, it's free with your laser away pain treatment. Give Dr. Appleton a call. He's open 6 days a week, no appointment necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, online at AppletonCairo.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio so you get that free consultation. 954-973-0710. Back after this. AppletonCairo.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio so you get that free consultation. 954-973-0710. Back after this.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Have you all liked the video? If you haven't, please like the video and subscribe. Steve will be joining us after the top, and we're going to go to the phones, because I'm glad to hear that everyone so far on the phones has had pretty much the same reaction I had. Goosebumps, tearing up. It's awesome. Let me see. I'm getting a text message from my wife. Let me see. She's asking me something. I want to see if I can look it up here. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones. Full board of calls. Oh, I am just so excited. Oh, somebody just gave me a super chat. Hold on, I just got the message. I missed it. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me go check. Huge Heat and Air, $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Everyone, please thank Huge Heat and Air for that super chat. Thank you so much. I am starving and tired. I'm hungry and tired. Give us your tired. Give us your poor. I'm your tired and hungry. All right, we're coming back.
Just call in 888-GO-CANE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. And, of course, we're talking about this historic speech and announcement of President Trump's that obviously did not bring tears to only my eyes, but to many people that have called in the last couple of hours on this program. And we have a full board of calls. Every line on the board is lit. We have not heard any Never Trumper or liberal call in today to give their thoughts. So maybe one of these people on hold, all the calls are screenless, is a liberal or Never Trumper. We'll find out. And we're joined by Steve Kane. Hey, Steve.
Morning, how are you?
Good. Both of us, between us, got about 5 hours sleep between us with the excitement.
I'm trouble raising an alternate point of view here this morning.
I think that President Trump has just won over everyone, and there are no more Never Trumpers, I guess, Steve.
Why do you assume that opposition would come from a Never Trumper?
Or a Democrat? Yeah.
A Never Trumper. I love Trump. And I've supported him from the get-go, and I support him today. I support what he stands for. I'd like to see him as the president. But I think your point of view is somewhat distorted on this. We want to...
Okay, Party Crasher Steve is here. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't want to be called Debbie Downer.
No, I came up with a new one. Party Crasher. Party Crasher Steve.
You don't want to know why nobody's calling in on the other side? Because they don't want to be ridiculed either.
Well, maybe every line is lit and they haven't been able to get through.
Maybe that's it. Well, let me.
All right, crash our party.
Remember what the big story where you said you wanted an alternative point of view. I'm just accommodating you. All right?
Oh, I'm open to it. I'm not telling you.
Well, do you remember what the big story was yesterday?
What? The crypto money laundering?
Crypto money laundering. What do you remember of yesterday's show?
Well, I don't know what you're referencing. DeSantis? I don't know what you're referencing.
What I'm referencing is, I'll just refresh your mind a little bit. This was the biggest scandal in the history of the world. This was going to do the Democrats in. This was the end because they overstepped themselves and all the problems were going to be over and everything was going to work out fine because we were going to be able to... The Democratic Party, as it's known today, was not even going to exist after this scandal.
Well, Steve, it hasn't gone away.
But
that story hasn't disappeared, and the guy and Bankman is being extradited now.
Let's just slow down a little bit. You say the story hasn't disappeared. Where is the story? I have in my hand the New York Post, certainly a newspaper that doesn't avoid controversy and hot scandals. You know how far I had to go in today's New York Post to find anything about yesterday's hottest scandal in the world, the crypto scandal? Do you know how far I had to go? 27.
Okay.
It's buried back there after page 27, where they have a little blurb about it. There's nothing.
Steve, there's not a new development today. The guy is being extradited, and there will be developments, and it is huge, and it will bring them down.
In the meantime, it's a mini article you know.
Well, yeah, in an irrelevant newspaper. One of Rupert Murdoch's irrelevant news sources. Steve, the story's all over the place. It's just we're not focused on it today because we got the Trump announcement.
Hold on. This is my point. There's an old saying, you know how fond I am of old sayings. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. All right? This scandal that yesterday was going to bring down the Democratic Party is already almost disappeared.
Only in the news sources you read. It's everywhere. I'm just not talking about it because we have the celebration. Bankman is being extradited. So then there'll be a hearing. Then there's not a new development today, Steve.
You don't want to concede that...
No. You've just got a short attention span. It didn't happen in 12 hours, so you're like freaked out. It's going to happen.
All right. What I'm telling you is this. This is a very scary time. And I love what Donald Trump did yesterday. He's great. He's the best. And I wish all your fantasies are my fantasies, too. I want to see him elected president, and I want to see him riding on his horse and save the day. But I have developed in the last, the last year, I've developed a new appreciation of the power of the establishment, the dark forces that oppose Trump and that oppose us, that we fight against. And you think they're just going to peel aside and let all this happen? And that Trump is going to be able to just be victorious over all of this? Is that what you...
Of course they're going to fight. That President Trump said that last night.
Right, but they have formidable... You, above all, we both have developed, I think, a new appreciation of how powerful they really are behind the scenes in the last year. And it's not all that easy.
Now, President Trump said last night, he talked about the midterms, and he didn't whine or gripe or have any conspiracy theories. He says the American people have not felt how bad things are quite yet, and they will, unfortunately. I think there's some truth to that. So far as this crypto, we got a full board of calls. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the phones in a moment. This crypto story, Steve, there's not a new development today. And the Trump story is trumping anything else in the news cycle. But see, a lot of people, one of the reasons it's not in the New York Post, buried in there, is because the New York Post wants to promote people. Rupert Murdoch said 2 days ago he will not cover Trump if he runs again, and he'll support the Democrats opposing him. So Rupert Murdoch, the people he's about to support against Trump are the people that are involved in the money laundering with FTX.
Rupert Murdoch is not the only one. There is a whole...
Sure. It's called legacy media. Yes.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And they have power beyond imagination.
Okay. Well, you want to take some calls? All right. All right. Party Crasher Steve from Cooper City. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Well, I want real opposition. I don't want, I don't know. It might just, I don't know. I'm not sure. Liven things up. This show's been hot. I mean, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Randall from Tampa.
Hey, Randall.
Hey, good to see you, Brian, and good to hear you, Steve. Sound like you're a little bit better spirits than you were yesterday, though.
Yeah, I had a bad day yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. But I have three main points real quick. The first point is, I think President Trump's done a very presidential last night.
Mm-hmm.
And to balance that out, he said he dislikes being identified as a politician. So then we go from that to him being a stable genius, right? As far as a level-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Topic 2.
Oh, I thought that was the 3 there. Let's just stick on that because we've got a full board. And we're going to be up against a break soon. But let's just talk about what you said. To me, that was a different type of Trump speech than we ever heard. It was much more serious, and I think we're going to see that kind of Trump moving forward. Is because there's serious things going on here. I mean, they're trying to push us into a nuclear war this morning in Europe, and Biden's all open to it because they think that'll stop Trump from beating them. So I don't think we're going to see these fights between him and these Acosta types in the future. And I like this new, more serious tone from Trump, don't you?
Yes, I do, and I have some information, by the way, on that those missiles.
Well, real quick, we have 10 seconds, so.
Our spokesperson yesterday said they couldn't verify it, and Poland's president came out and said they couldn't. Basically, they believe it was an accident.
Yeah. The best case scenario is it was an accident. Thank you for your call. There's one opening on the board, and if you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones again after the break. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be back. Phones again after the break. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be back. Boy, Rome is so fast on the sex bots. My finger was just moving, but she's like the fastest draw in the West, Rome. What have you seen on cable news this morning? You shouldn't be watching. You should be watching Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I'm sorry, Lisa. The phones are so busy. I don't know how many phone lines I'm going to have at the new studio. Maybe they'll give me more lines. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the new studio next week. I may be going there. It'll be a new studio to me. I don't know if I'll be in the new studio yet. And I may choose not to use the new studio. They're going to let me. They have 4 studios. I can choose which one I want. So, got to try them all on, Have you all liked the video, by the way? Let me see. No, you've not. Make sure you guys like the video. Please. That helps so much. They're moving us out of this building. The whole radio station's moving out of this building. Oh. In December. All right. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here, and I want to read this email that I got from a listener. And it's about EET, our fence and gate repair experts, and this is from Mark. He wrote this yesterday. He said, he said, thank you for mentioning one of your sponsors this morning. That's EET Services, who repaired your gate and your fencing, Steve. He said, I called the fencing company you mentioned, and an extremely polite and accommodating man answered after just 2 rings. He said he'd be out today to evaluate my fencing situation and get me an estimate. I could tell this was an individual focused on growing his business with a focus on customer service, kind of the way it used to be. Isn't that the truth? And, you know, this is, when we found EET Services, I was so excited when I found out they do repairs on fences and gates. Now listen, if you need a new fence and you need a new gate, they'll do that too. But most of the time, you need a repair, right? You know, maybe a tree fell and damaged it. Maybe a tree root damage. Something, who knows? You need a new one. I've had situations, Steve, where the dogs would try to crawl underneath the fence and bent it and did all kinds of stuff. And I've had situations where hurricanes have brought trees down on part of my fence. And the fencing companies have an unwritten agreement. None of them will do repairs. So everybody can only get new fencing. And that's true. You call them and you tell them, I just have a part of my fence that needs repair. They will not even come out to look at it. They'll tell you we only do new fences. We don't do repairs on fences or gates. I couldn't believe it. This is the way it is. EET, they do repairs. Now, listen, they're family owned and operated. They're licensed and insured, been in business over 20 years, and they work on all types of fencing and gates: iron, aluminum, chain link, wood, PVC, and any other type of fencing materials that I may have left out. I don't know if there are others. I'm not the experts when it comes to gates and fences. They are, so if there's another material, they do that too. They work on both residential and commercial properties and fencing and gates. So if you have like a massive gate, you know, for a development or something, they can handle all that stuff too, or a tiny little gate on your pool fence, or the little gate on your chain link going into your backyard. They can help you with that too. 15% off if you're a first responder, military, or a school teacher. And get this, Steve, they'll beat any competitor's pricing. So if you've had another fencing company come out and give you an estimate, they'll beat it. There's also no minimum charge on the work that they do. Okay? The other companies have minimum charges, and they give free estimates. And they did an incredible job on your gate and your fence, Steve. Oh yeah, like new. It's better than it was before. I know that it's reinforced. You're not going to have any problems with that fence like the old one. Now, I'm going to give you the number right now, and EET, they will come to you no matter where you are in the listening area of all of our radio stations. Steve is down south in Cooper City, which is basically the Broward-Dade line, but they go all the way north too. Okay? Here's their number: 561-255-1170. 561-255-1170. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 561-255-1170. All right, we have a full board of calls. We're talking about this speech. You know, I'm not embarrassed to admit this. I've admitted it every hour on the show today. I was tearing up watching the speech, and I watched it twice. After it was over, I watched it again immediately. I mean, it was just as emotional the second time, even a little bit better because on the emotional side, because I picked up on some things I missed the first time. Okay, because I was so excited. Oh yeah, and a man of action. Okay, you know, usually what happens with these guys, these politicians, their speeches are filled with vague generalities. Even President Kennedy, right? They say things like, "We can do the big things together. If we're together, nothing can stop us from doing the things." That's a Kennedy speech. That's an Obama speech. Yeah, if what your country can do for you. Vague generalities. Donald Trump says, listen, we were the #1 producer of oil. We were energy independent. Inflation wasn't even a topic to be discussed. There was no such thing. You know, long list of things. North Korea didn't launch any rockets. You know, all this stuff. I ended wars, first president. You know, it wasn't vague generalities. okay? And whatever primary opponents that he faces are going to be losers, okay? Whose name is going to go on my list, the one that I started with Candace Owens' name at the top. All right, so let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO. Kane 1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. I hear some breathing. It's got to. Good morning. Okay, that was some. Oh, I heard it. Okay, go ahead. I heard a lady's voice. Yes, you're on the air.
See from St. Pete.
Hey, Kathy.
See, I'm still befuddled from last night. You know what I mean?
No, tell us. Tell us your thoughts, your feelings, your observations.
Let me confused.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I want to hear what. Yeah, I know what that means.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Steve, hi, Brian. Last night was beautiful.
Yeah, you got a bad cell, Tampa. You got to call back. Okay, call back on another cell. Oh, Steve, we got a liberal. Jamaican Wayne.
Yeah, okay.
Wayne!
Oh, we interrupted a conversation.
Yeah, good morning. I listened to that speech too, and just like you, I felt it inside you, but to listen to that get out of prison speech that he gave last night.
That what speech? That what speech?
The speech he gave last night, get out of prison speech.
The get out of prison? Donald Trump's in prison?
He's going there, buddy.
Oh, he's going to be in prison.
Yeah.
For what? Is making America great again a crime? What would he go to prison for?
Now I believe making America great again is really, that's what it's going to be, because when he's in...
Oh, making America great again is a crime and punishable by imprisonment. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering now. I'm wondering. Yeah.
You sound confused. This is like talking to Fetterman.
Is what you said.
Yeah, ganja.
See.
Yeah. Is he going to be in a New York prison, Atlanta prison, or a federal prison? I'm trying to...
You know that if you may not be aware of this, growing up in Jamaica and all, but hey, I'm not the one that left my home country and went and lived in another country. So your opinion of Jamaica must not be that good since you've abandoned it for America. But regardless, are you aware? Hold on, I want to shoot down your fantasy. I know, I'm projecting. I know. I don't live in Jamaica either. Do you know? Yeah.
This is why you got to stay away from the ganja.
Yeah, now let me... Now, Wayne, listen to this, okay? Do you know that if someone is in prison, they can still become president of the United States from prison? Did you know that? Yeah.
If they're black, no, but if they're white, probably it's all right. Because look what...
Oh, now he's playing the race card. Oh, okay.
I don't think there's much to gain from this school.
This is the Democrat response.
Look what happened in Florida. Those people who had a criminal record, they cannot vote.
No, actually, nonviolent felons got their vote back. You're on talking points from like 12 years ago. You know that, right? Oh, my goodness. Thanks for the call. No, nonviolent felons got their voting rights restored. I was opposed to that. I'm sorry that I asked for a Democrat response. That was the first Democrat caller of the day.
Great response.
Someone who's not high.
Who's not high on the ganja.
All right, now listen, we're up against our bottom of the hour break. Callers on hold, stand by. There's one opening where Wayne was. Now, I don't know. You might get a contact high if you call in on that line. But, yeah. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio station, our radio shows. Now I'm high. The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back. Bottom of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest radio station. Oh boy. This show has flown by. 2.5 hours sleep. Okay, here's an article someone sent me, and I tweeted it. It says here, Fox. I'm going to read this when we get back. Fox News briefly cut away. Oh, man. Well, thank you, Rome. Yeah, today I'm going to get off work. I am going to get something to eat. I'm going to turn my phone off and take a nap because I am so tired. I'm so tired. How many of you couldn't go to sleep? That was such an exciting thing. It's hard to go to sleep after listening to that Trump speech, isn't it? No carbs. I love carbs. I love carbs. Chicken Kiev. It helped you sleep? Oh. Oh, maybe you're sleeping more soundly, knowing Trump is coming. Oh, man. Coors Light. I haven't had a Coors Light in a long time. I like Coors. I haven't had Coors in so long. Your My Pillow mattress topper? Of course. I was watching the speech on my My Pillow mattress topper. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Well, take care, Lisa. Oh, I haven't even done the Anne Marie's commercial yet. I'm going to do that at the end of the show. Then you'll really salivate. I really only drink on the cruise. I don't drink too much. Although I did have that whole bottle of wine a couple weeks back from Anne Marie's. But on this cruise, I'm not going to drink as much. The drinks are included, you know, and it's hard not to drink when the drinks are not included. And the drinks you get, you can order like any drink, like top shelf stuff, you know, Patron, oh man, everything. Steve Kane Show. I had way too much to drink the first night on the last cruise. It was embarrassing. Oh, you're going to go to Dr. Appleton's and Anne Marie's. Wow, that's awesome. Where are you at, Lisa? Where are you coming from? If you let me know, I'll use it in the commercial. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. I'm not going to drink as much. I drank so much on the first night on the last cruise. I was drinking, oh really? Coming from Texas. I was drinking Avion, because Avion's included too with the drink. I was drinking Avion all week. I was very well hydrated. Wow, when are you coming to Florida, Lisa? That's awesome. This cruise is going to be exciting. You guys, if you've not already made a reservation, you should. I love Michelob. Michelob's my favorite. But I don't like the, you know, remember years ago, they had the bottles, the different bottles on Michelob, and you would tear the label up, you know? Can't do that on the new ones. I miss those old Michelob bottles. Stella. All right, it's our last commercial. We're coming back. Michelob Ultra, yeah. Mick Ultra. Usually, if I order a beer, it'll be a Mick Ultra. Well, that was a big bird that flew by. When I was in high school, we used to drink Black Label. You could get a 6-pack for $2. Black Label. I don't know if they still make that. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. You know, I was in the YouTube live chat room, Steve. One of our listeners in Texas is visiting Florida, Lisa, and she said when she visits Florida, she's going to see Dr. Appleton for her pain, and then after that, she's going to go to Anne Marie's and have lunch. And she's in Texas. Oh, man. Yeah, I know these guys. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They're good. But let me tell you guys about Anne Marie's, okay? Everything is homemade. Grandma's recipes, they are, and you will love everything on the menu. And on the weekends, they have live entertainment on the weekends at Anne Marie's in Pompano. So you don't want to miss that. And I've not seen the weekend entertainment, but I've gotten really good reports. You know, Conservative Doug, he's a musician, and he loves the music and the singers that they have over there. And he was telling me about it. But if you go for the pizza, it's hard to pick a favorite. But yesterday I told you guys I would tell you about the specialty pizzas, which blew my mind. I've never knew pizzas came this way. There's a specialty pizza menu on the back of the lunch menu. And my favorite, they're called Crazy New York Craft Pies, is the Steak Deluxe. This is amazing. Steve, you got to get the Steak Deluxe, okay? It's a pizza with rib-eye steak, which I never even imagined having such a dish. Rib-eye steak, onions, peppers, light mozzarella, provolone, and a garlic oil base. And they have all kinds of others in their specialty pizzas, including the... the meat lovers, you know, pretty much any of the pizzas you get, you can order in the meat lovers. Okay, like that. But I must tell you, if you go for a more traditional pie, try the Sicilian. Have you had the Sicilian yet, Steve? Oh, you can have the Sicilian. You can have the meat. You can have the meat lovers in the Sicilian too, and it is thick. The crust is so tasty. It is the best Sicilian pizza I've ever had, and it's great. You can get it in meat lovers. And the first one I got was pepperoni. I've never had pepperoni like this. Their pepperoni is really good. Yeah, it's really good. But no matter what you order, you want to make sure you take a look at their appetizer menu and order the lobster ravioli appetizer, which is 3 large homemade raviolis stuffed with chunks of Maine lobster, and they use the claw meat. Yeah, it's topped with goat cheese and lobster cream sauce. It's a great appetizer. Oh, this is a really good. Once we start going through the Anne Marie's menu, there's every time my eyes glare over something, I see something else I want to recommend. Grandma's Cheesy Bread. You've got to try Grandma's Cheesy Bread. It is so good. You will love it. And on the dessert menu, they've got a great dessert menu, but get the cannolis. Those cannolis, Steve, are so good. Oh, you will love them. Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of Copans Road and US 1 Federal Highway in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Augustino. Yeah, Herschel Walker, and you're in Georgia, and President Trump gave a great endorsement for Herschel last night. Well, yeah, you can take 95 straight down. You can go. Oh, the liberal aide, she quit? Why? What happened? That doesn't sound ethical. That doesn't sound, you know. I've never had a healthcare professional ask me anything about my political affiliation. Liberal, yeah, there you go, yeah. Real America's Voice is awesome, and I have their app. I wish you could get it, Steve. It's where Steve Bannon's show is. Real America's Voice is so good. And did you see who they brought in? They brought in last night on Real America's Voice. They had Stitchfield on, who was fired by Newsmax to make room for Greta. And yeah. So I can tell you were moved by our president's speech last night. Serious. I think more serious, more statesman-like. Stitchfield, yeah, he was on Real America's Voice last night. Well, yeah, and I love how he calls this period the pause. The pause. That was so cool because he went through how everything was perfect, and now we're in the pause, and then when he's back on day one, we'll hit the pause button, we'll release it, and everything will go back to greatness. Well, we'll be thinking about you when we're eating at Anne Marie's, okay? Take care, Augustina. Okay, now, The Hill is reporting, okay? Fox News, this was last night during the coverage, all right? Fox News briefly cut away from live coverage of President Trump's speech announcing his candidacy. MSNBC didn't give 1 second of screen time to the speech. Fox News, which is, this is in The Hill. Let's see here. The network, which is shed away, I'm sorry, 2.5 hours, shied away, 2.5 hours sleep, and I'm like dozing right now. I'm having a hard time in the last few minutes of the show, so guys, you gotta give me a break. The network, which has shied away from covering Trump rallies and other events featuring him live since he left the White House, carried Trump's remarks for longer than any of the 3 major cable channels before it broke away. After Fox cut away, Hannity, a noted pro-Trump commentator and close personal friend of President Trump, took analysis from a number of conservative pundits, including Huckabee, Pete Hegseth, and Leo Terrell. After several minutes of analysis and pro-Trump commentary, Fox eventually rejoined his speech as he concluded his remarks. CNN carried Trump's remarks live, but cut away after 20 minutes to offer analysis. MSNBC carried none of it. Don't blame Hannity for that. I think Hannity had Pence on the night before, so he was able to cover it. I think Hannity if it weren't for Hannity, none of it would have been carried on Fox. So, and a lot of people I was looking on social media are angry at Hannity. Hannity got it on Fox. So, so that's I'm going to give him definite credit for that. Yeah, and he had to sit and interview Pence to do it. Ugh, they really made him suffer. Pence? Yeah. While he's throwing him under the bus. Yeah, he's a terrible person. Pence administration. Yeah. Yeah, he's a terrible person. He's a phony. He's a phony. He's like one of these fake televangelists. He's like a Benny Hinn type. He's a fake. Yeah, he doesn't behave like a Christian. I don't think. I've never liked Pence. When President Trump picked Pence, I always I didn't like him because he always seemed too fake to me, too polished. I never knew what his true personality was, and then at the end we found out. What his true personality was. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You can't use like that one there. 1-888-465-2631. You're hanging up on all our callers, Rich Allen.
Hello. I lost him.
Okay. He's trying to get a line out to get a hold of William Engerman for the Gold Report. He's hanging up on all our callers. That's okay. They'll call back. And the people getting busy signals will get through. If you're on hold, stand by. If you got disconnected, that's okay. It happens. I'm sorry. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We're all running on low energy today. I just had a hard time going to sleep after that exciting speech last night, you know. All right, let's go to our break in just a moment. Okay. It's live radio, people, okay? It's live. We'll take our break for the Gold Report with William Youngerman. We'll be right back. We'll take our break for the Gold Report with William Youngerman. We'll be right back.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William, how the metals looking today?
Stable at our new high levels, and that's good for the metals. Yesterday we saw gold close up $7.60 after trading in a range of $17.67 to $17.88. Gold closed at $17.79.20, as I said, up $7.60. Silver was down 46 cents at $21.52, but it did get up as high as $22.38 an ounce. Platinum was down $5, closing at $1,014, but that also got up to $1,047. So good moves in the metals. Palladium closed up $77 at $2,042. Gold this morning up $1 after trading in a range overnight of $1,770 to $1,786. Right now we're up $1 at $1,780.20 the ounce. Silver up 23 cents at $21.76. While platinum's up $1 at $1,015, and palladium is down $12 at $2,030. The U.S. dollar continues to fall today, and that's going to continue to give great support to the precious metals.
That's right. Now, William Youngerman is located in Boca, but can you tell people who cannot make it into your store how they can do business with you over the phone, William?
Yes, for over 50 years, we've made good two-way markets, whether buying or selling, to people and clients all over the world. So just give us a call on our 800 toll-free number and lock in a price, either buying or selling, and we'll take care of the transaction very quickly for you.
What's the buy recommendations today?
We still like gold and silver both. Silver is struggling to stay above that $22 number, but I believe it's going to blast through that and reestablish itself at a $22 base. And gold is challenging the $1,800 level, which I think we will also blast through very likely, possibly this week.
Oh.
Give us a new trading range.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, listen, give William Youngerman a call. His toll-free number is 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com. Now, if you can stop in the store, you should, because it's really a museum over there at William Youngerman's. To call it a store does it a disservice. I think the Boca Trolley should make your store a stop on their when the tourists come to town, because there's so many cool things to see. Those 100-ounce bars of silver that William talks about, you can see those. Old money, these beautiful coins on display. 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right, back after this.
Here since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we're back, and just a few minutes left, thankfully so, Steve, because I am on my final little bits of fuel here. Okay, I'm starting to get loopy. I'm either loopy from being tired, or I got high talking to Wayne. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of those two. I just, listen, when the speech was over last night, I watched it again. And my wife, we were watching it in bed, and my wife said, okay, you need to go to sleep. And she left the room, and she went in the other room. She came in like half an hour later. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm watching the speech again. And after I watched it the second time, I just couldn't go to sleep. Is that okay? Who's calling, Steve? I just couldn't go to sleep. It just because I was so excited. And you know what? Wayne is the only liberal who's called in today. We haven't heard from another liberal, and we haven't heard from any Never Trumper. And when we talked to Wayne, he sounded incoherent. You know, we're joking around that he sounded high, but he is confused. He was really thrown off by the Trump speech. And I do believe he watched it because his thoughts were so bizarre and he was just rambling. It was just a strange call from Wayne today. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Maria. I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, so I've been listening to you all morning, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I'm with Steve this morning. God, I'm praying for Mr. Trump. I want him to... Look around. They are dismantling this country.
No, he didn't say the country's on pause. That's not what that meant. What he went... That you heard wrong. You just didn't understand what he was saying. He went through the list of all the great things that he did and how wonderful the economy and the world was doing. And the pause is the pause on his good work, not the country. The pause on all the good work he was doing, and the pause button will be released on Inauguration Day. That's what that meant. Not that the country's on pause. We should be so lucky.
We're not starting from that point. We are going to have to go way back. You know, we're not starting on the foot that he left off.
Yeah, what you're saying is we've lost ground, and I think that's realistic.
Let me tell you, okay, let me give you an example. Okay, the financial markets are I'm not a financial expert, right? But I got a little bit of common sense. But most of the financial markets are based on future expectations, okay? It's not the only factor, but it's a big one. And if you guys remember, when President Trump was president-elect, immediately the economy, the stock market, everything was booming because he was coming, right? And this time around is going to be a similar thing. When we get close to Election Day and then he's president-elect again, you're going to see the economy immediately turn around. Before Inauguration Day, there's going to be huge gains just on the expectation of him coming in.
What I will say is that
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, people are too much watching their TV and on Twitter. And I'll tell you one thing that's a small thing that can help. Start wearing your MAGA gear again so people know how many of us there are.
have threatened divorce with Trump, but you know.
Wait, divorce with you over Trump?
Yes.
Really? Your husband's is he a Republican that doesn't like Trump or a Democrat?
He's a Republican, and you know he's just fed up with all of this.
Why doesn't he like Trump? Why does your husband not like Trump?
He's tired of all the divisiveness that the left and the rhinos.
Who was the first Republican president you voted for?
George Bush.
Which one?
Yeah, the second.
The second one. Okay. Half the country hated him. He won by like 150 votes. Every president, no matter who the president is, half the country love him and half hate him. That's the nature of it. So if that's your husband's standard, there's something else going on with your husband. Now, I'm not talking about your marriage. I'm talking about his disapproval of Trump. You know, whoever the president is, half the country love him, half the country hate him.
Trump was elected in 2016. We brought out the bottle of champagne and we toasted to Trump. So he was very, very much a MAGA person like I was, 6 years ago. I think that a lot of people are just tired. They're exhausted. And I think this is when we can't give up. This is when we have to, do everything that we can to make it happen, that we can get Mr. Trump back in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, I appreciate the call, and talk to you should have your husband call us. Steve and I will talk to him. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Waddle from Kentucky. How are you doing this morning, Brian?
Doing all right, Kentucky. No, threw his hat in the ring. You said threw his ring in the hat. You got it backwards.
Do it. President Trump can do it.
Yep. That's right. All right.
The maturity and the that you add to this show, that's yours. And,
it balances my immaturity.
yeah, you were immature yesterday, hanging up on me. So I don't understand why you would.
Well, I don't even remember your call. Well, I'll tell you this. In every phone call, somebody's got to hang up. Like if I'm on the phone with my wife, one of us got to hang up. No, I say bye and thank you for the call all the time. I always say thank you for your call, pretty much every time. I said it's one, well, okay, that time. It's one call per day. It's one call per day. So the second time you called, I didn't say, excuse me. Since you're in the phone etiquette, you should probably let me talk. The second time you called, I probably didn't thank you for the call. All right? But I thank you for this call. All right? Oh, boy. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jeffrey Tequesta. How are you today?
All right, Tequesta.
All right, got a question for you. Loved Trump's speech yesterday. It was great. Now, let me ask you this. Who's running mate?
I don't know. I would say the favorite is Ron DeSantis still right now.
The governor.
Mine too. Yeah, I would say he's the favorite.
If they get through the campaign without hurt feelings getting out of hand,
Oh, that's over.
ideal.
It's not going to be...
A lot.
Let me ask you this. If he does, like an example, okay, if he does pick a female candidate, who do you think that would be?
That's a hard pick. I don't think it'll be Carrie Lake, if people are wondering. If Carrie Lake had become the governor and had some accomplishments to run on, maybe, but, I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been talked about, but you know what? No one votes for president because of the vice president. So it really doesn't matter. It seems like a big deal in the news, and we always talk about it, but no one cares. Most of the vice presidents are forgotten.
You know something? A good vice president also backs up a good president too as well.
Yeah, that means Pence is not a good vice president. Yeah.
I thought it would. You know what would be good would be Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley? I don't trust Nikki Haley. She as soon as she became governor in South Carolina, one of the first things she did was take down the Confederate flag from the State House. Now, I don't support the Confederate flag being flown on government buildings, but South Carolinians do, and she said she did until she became governor, and then she took it down and moved it, and people were ticked. And she's trashed Trump on many occasions. She cannot be trusted, Nikki Haley. Now, if President Trump picks her, I'll support her, whoever he picks, but I would hope he wouldn't pick her. Even though Nikki is an Indian name, we found out because of The View.
Y'all have this over great weekend and a good holiday season.
All right, take care. That means Christmas season around here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Hey, you got 30 seconds, Teresa.
I know. Nobody can do this like Trump, okay? The whole wide world respects him and they fear him. So nobody can do this but Trump.
That's right.
Back.
That's right. That's right. And he is back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 20 seconds.
Still Ellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey.
Great speech last night. I loved him, and Melania did look beautiful. I don't know about Nikki Haley. None of those people. Her and Tim Scott were running, are slated to run for president. No way would they ever win.
No, she's trashed Trump on more than one occasion, Nikki Haley. I don't trust Nikki Haley, and she's not loyal.
Neither one of them. I mean, I like Nikki Haley, but not for president.
No, I don't know. There's no loyalty with her. Thanks for the call. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. 10 seconds.
Sleeping with the bitches with...
Okay, that's, I had to take that last call, didn't I? I was going to take 2 more, but I had to hit the dump button. And there's not time for the delay to build back up to take more calls. And sometimes you just take that you go one extra beat too long. You know what I mean? And I did with that one last caller. But when you go screenless, no one heard what he said but me. But it was, you're a jerk. You're a disgusting person, Al. Not that comes as a shock. All right, listen, we're out of time for today. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's been here. I'm Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk, the longest-running radio show in Florida, the Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be back tomorrow, everyone. God bless America, and of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow. Everyone, God bless America. Hey, guys, I got to run, and because I got stuff to do, but I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, all right?